Hi everyone, welcome to Pearl's Kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how to make dal curry. This is a proper Anglo Indian dish and it means meat and lentil made into a curry. So the ingredients we need for this is, I've got 1 kilo of lamb, but you could make it with beef or with mutton. So I've got the shoulder cut, but if you want lean meat you could use leg or any other part. And I put some of the bones in it because it gives flavor. So that's 1 kilo of meat, a mug full of red lentils. We need some tamarind. This you will find in an Indian shop. So maybe two tablespoons of tamarind. I'll show you what to do later. So just keep that there. You need dry ingredients, a teaspoonful of cloves, teaspoonful of peppercorns, and a few cinnamon sticks. Now for the paste that we'll grind later, we need a full pod of garlic, around 2 inches of ginger that's peeled and chopped roughly, a small onion or half onion, a tablespoon of cumin seed, and a tablespoon of rye, that's black mustard, and you will find that also at any Indian shop. A teaspoonful of turmeric, and as I like it very hot, I've got 2.5 teaspoons of chili, but I think for you English people there, 1 teaspoon should be enough. But if you like it hot, then you can put more. So that's what we need here. And now we go on to here, and I've already got the pot there, and 1 spoonful of oil in there, and that's 2 roughly chopped onions, which is going straight into the oil. Give it a stir. So after a minute or so, you put the dry ingredients in there. Now remember, this goes for flavoring, but when you actually dish out the food, we don't eat that, we remove it. But if you eat it, it's not harmful. But no, it's not very tasty when you bite into it. So just keep stirring that. Now, like all Indian dishes, it's always a curry. It always starts with browning the onions first. So keep that going till it gets nice and brown. So while that's browning, we'll start with the paste. So put all these ingredients into the grinder. Okay. And put some water to make it into a paste. Maybe half a cup of water, and then we put it in the grinder. Okay, now that the onions are nice and brown, this is what it should look like, nice and golden, dark golden brown. What we need to do is add the paste that we just did. That's what it should look like. Put that all in the onions. Don't waste anything. Shovel it with little water and put that, and then start stirring the masala. You can keep stirring this for a few minutes. So while that's stirring, in another pot you need a mug full of water, and as soon as it's boiling you add the tamarind in the water. So let that boil to release its sourness in the water. Keep that boiling for 5 minutes. And as soon as that's boiled, you turn that off and let it cool down. So back to the masala. Now this is two ways you can do this. You can either brown the masalas first for around 15 minutes before you add the meat, or you could add the meat with the masalas. Either way it comes out good. Depends on how tough the meat is. So I'm going to add the meat now. Give it another stir. Shoulder cut because it's also got a little bit fat in it. A little bit of fat is good. Salt to taste. Like I say, I don't measure anything. So approximately two teaspoons of salt. Now you need to keep browning the meat and the masala for quite a long time, at least 20 to 25 minutes. And you can see the tamarind starting to boil, so that'll take 5 minutes. Now what we've got is a mug full of lentils, so we need to wash this. So just under the tap water. Drain it. Then do this for 2 or 3 times. Drain it. You can leave that in there for a little while we are browning the meat and the masala. Keep doing this for, like I said, 20 to 25 minutes. So there you go, after 20 to 25 minutes, this is what it should look like. Now when you're stirring, make sure it doesn't get caught underneath. Remove it. If you need to add a few drops of water now and then, that's fine. Otherwise the meat itself releases its water. So after the 25 minutes or so, that's the lentil that's already been washed. So you can either strain it in the sieve or just don't put the water, just put the lentils. There you go, so the lentil goes in with the meat and the masala. Give it a stir for a minute or so. That's the red lentils, which is washed and put in. If the temperature is too high while you're bhunjing the masala and the meat, you can put it down a bit. So stir it for a minute or so, and then you add water. That's around 2.5 cups mugs of water, but you might need a bit more after it starts to cook. So while that's cooking, you see the tamarind's already cooling down. That's what it should look like. And the wait for the water to start boiling. As soon as it starts boiling, you lower the heat and then let it cook for another half an hour or so, or till the meat is tender. Okay, at this time you can put the lid, but keep an eye out on the bubbling. As soon as it's boiling, then the heat needs to go down a bit. So while that's happening, I need to keep an eye on it. Okay, so while that's happening, we're going to make some boiled rice. Indian boiled rice with no starch in it. This is how we remove the starch, so it's healthier. So I've got 2 mugs of rice in there. I'm going to wash it a few times. At least 3 times wash it. Now for this you don't need any measurements of water. You can put as much water as you want. This all needs to boil. And then you just fill it with water. All that water has to be thrown away anyway. Okay, so now you put this to boil. You can see that the lentils already starting to boil. So once that starts to boil, put the lid on and reduce the heat, and now let it cook. But every now and then make sure it's not getting caught underneath. And then you put the gas on for the rice and let the rice boil. You can add salt, but it doesn't make much difference. It all goes when we drain the water, it all goes. So, and that's it. Now let the water boil. Let the water boil, and then you'll know when the rice is done. When you touch the rice and feel it's not grainy. So as you see, while stirring, you realize that the water has been all soaked, absorbed. So now we're going to add some more water because the meat is still a bit tough. So there you go, another mug full of water, because it still needs another 15 minutes to cook. Okay, so this is the lentil and the meat. It's had nearly around 20 minutes. Now at this point you can take a piece of meat and put it in cold water just to see if it's tender. Now you can see it needs another 5 minutes or so. Put it back, but at this point the tamarind that's cooled down, you need to add tamarind now. So take a sieve, put all that through the sieve, and release all the pulp. You can also buy tamarind pulp ready-made in a bottle. I think it comes, but I prefer this one because you don't want any juices wasted. Keep releasing all the goodness from the tamarind. Keep using the same lentil mix. Add a little bit more water. see all the seeds have come out from the tamarind and all the strings. So we don't need this bit. It can stay here. Give it another stir. Put the lid on. Remember, the flame's still only half, otherwise it will start getting hot underneath. At this point, if you think it needs more water, you put some more water. Otherwise, let it cook for another 5 minutes. And as you can see, the water in the rice is starting to boil. I'll tell you when the rice is done. At the moment, if you touch the rice, it's very grainy. Okay, let it cook for a while. Okay, so the rice is, after boiling, after the water starts boiling, around 15 to 20 minutes, you just press the rice and see, and there's no grain in it. Okay, so now is the time to take it off the heat. And I'll show you how to remove all the starch, because this is very healthy. And you remove the starch because all you've got is the rice. And some of the water off. I know I don't think you'll have made rice like this, but trust me, it's really good. And now, put cold water. And you drain that off as well. Because the cold water stops the cooking process so it doesn't get too mushy. One more knot. If it's easier for you all, you can do it in the sieve. But I just do it this way. What you do is just stays there and you leave it. You leave it for 10 to 15 minutes, don't touch it. Okay, there you go. Now the meat is nice and tender. The lentils also done. So now you need to finish it off with curry leaves. It was in the freezer, the curry leaves, because it freezes very well. So that's 3 stalks of curry leaves. Take it off the stalk. What you need is a frying pan with a spoonful of oil in there, cooking spoonful. And when the oil is nice and hot, you can put the gas off here. It's finished. It's finished cooking. When the oil is nice and hot, you need to put the curry leaves in the oil. Releases all its lovely flavors and lovely smell. And then when it's nice and brown, or golden brown, there you go. Release it into the curry, stir it, don't waste anything. And there you go. Your dal curry is ready. Let it rest for 10 minutes or so before you eat it, while the rice is being drained. There you go. The rice has had its 10-15 minutes of straining. draining the water out, and as you see, each grain is separate, so all you need to do is dish it onto a plate, sprinkle, put some salt to taste, and serve it with the dal curry over it. You could have a side salad if you want with it. So hope you enjoy it. Don't forget to put your comments below. Don't forget to share these videos with your friends and to subscribe to my channel. And stay safe. Thanks for watching. See you next Wednesday, where I'm going to show you how to make Indian brunch. It's called Rumble Tumble. It's very quick to make, but alongside that I will also show you how to make Indian chapati, Indian bread. It's called chapati, and also paratha to go with the Rumble Tumble. So look forward to seeing you next Wednesday.